This is the tale of a young African boy captured at the age of 7, made a slave, who eventually rose to become a general in the mighty Russian army. In the year 1673, a 7-year-old black boy is abducted and enslaved by the Ottomans. He will be brought to Constantine and converted to Islam, earning the name Ibrahim. A year later, he is sold to a Russian merchant who takes him to Moscow. Once there, his fate will change. Ibrahim arrives in Moscow under specific conditions. Peter the Great, the Tsar, has aspirations for greatness for his empire. He desires a strong and modern empire. To do this, he thinks children should attend school from an early age to learn science, technology, and literature. In short, you understand, the people do not want to let their children learn all this from a young age. So, the Tsar sets out to prove them wrong. They say that anyone, be they aristocrat, poor, or black, regardless of skin color, if educated, can be above others. Therefore, he looks for someone who can genuinely support his vision. It is in this context that Ibrahim arrives in Moscow. The Tsar spots him, takes him under his wing, and he has escaped slavery. He calls for an Orthodox priest to convert him, and he will now be called Abraham. In this context, he will train Abraham, who will become his secretary and follow him everywhere. A very strong bond will form between them. It will be like a father-son relationship. He will also notice that Abraham has a great aptitude for mathematics, so much so that he will bring in math teachers, the best professors in the empire, to guide him. Very quickly, his intellectual abilities will shine. Even better, Peter the Great will decide to send Abraham abroad for training. He will go to France for training, and upon returning from his stay in France, he will hold a dual title, the title of Royal Engineer, and he will also be a captain in the French army. Abraham returns to Russia in 1723, and shortly after his arrival, Tsar Peter the Great passes away. Abraham is devastated. Following this, his wife Catherine takes the throne. Catherine also noticed that Abraham was dedicated, loyal, and very effective in his work. She will entrust him with certain tasks that he will accomplish brilliantly. Moreover, Abraham will create a manuscript that establishes the basis for the empire's defenses and fortifications. This manuscript still exists at the Russian Academy of Sciences, so for those visiting Moscow you can see it. Basically, you understand, whenever he was needed, Abraham proved himself. However, 3 years later, Catherine passes away. The new person on the throne does not necessarily like Abraham. He is thus forced to flee into exile to avoid execution. One key aspect of this story is the affection Peter the Great had for Abraham. His close associates, including Catherine and others, also cared for Abraham. So, there was someone on the throne who didn't particularly like Abraham, so he had to go into exile. However, when Anna Ivanovna, Peter the Great's niece, ascends to power, she requests Abraham's return. He returns and works in the army, rising through the ranks to become a general in the Russian army. You got that right, a general in the Russian army. The young slave who was captured at the age of 7, who was converted to Islam, and who ultimately converted to Orthodox Christianity, became a general in Russia. Well, he will have a fulfilling career as a general, but he will be forced to retire due to power struggles. You understand, whenever someone comes to power, roles change. He will die at the age of 66, leaving behind 2 children who also impressed everyone with their abilities in their fields. Even better, one of his grandsons is among them, becoming the most famous in Russia, Alexander Pushkin. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to delve deeper into Abraham's story, feel free to leave me a comment, as he also had love stories worth sharing. That we make a video. These love stories were very complicated, and if you want me to make a video about Alexander Pushkin as well, just let me know in the comments.